We are in Middleton in Tiedman's pond. The water is kind of a green goop over here. I've tried fishing here once for like an hour or two, absolutely nothing, but I was trying the active fishing and casting out. So now I'm gonna try bottom fishing, where I'm just gonna fish with corn and hot dogs and see if we can get anything. I do not think there are bass here, even though there are a ton of lily pads, because not only did I not hook into a bass using bass lures, I have not ever seen a bass jump on this pond. So that means there's probably no bass here. If there's anything, there are probably bullheads and carp is my guess. Maybe a few goldfish, if people release their goldfish in here. So I'm gonna get a line in the water and see if there's actually anything here. If there's not, we'll move on to somewhere else. But hopefully we can get something at Tiedman's pond. Got the two lines out now. One is with corn, the other one with a piece of a hot dog. And I guess we're gonna have to see if anything takes the bait. Should be able to see if anything takes the bait. There's very little movement in the water, so a massive change or like a small change within the lines should actually be visible. We are now at Stryker's pond. It's bigger than Tiedman's pond, and by the water structure and the water quality, it looks superior to Tiedman's pond, although it's not great water quality. But with the structure and everything, and the water quality being slightly better, let's hope that there is a fish. I'm gonna toss my line in the water. I have one rod in the water, and while I'm waiting for something to possibly hit, let's toss this other rod out. I'm gonna actually actively fish this pond, unlike Tiedman's. I've never actually fished this pond before, so there is the possibility there are some bluegill in the shallows. It looks like that rod already has a hit. Yep, there's a fish on there. There's definitely a fish on there. There's a fish on there. What is it? It looks like a bullhead. So there were no bullheads in the other pond. Looks to be there to be bullheads in this pond. So there we go, bullhead catfish. If there are bullheads, there are most likely bluegills, possibly even some bass. So there we go. First fish, bullhead catfish. Bullhead catfish. Well, at least to know there's fish in here. We have a bullhead. Got a bullhead. First fish of the day, first fish of the day. Nothing at Tiedman's, a couple of minutes at Stryker's, already one bullhead. Pretty good. Good, see you later. All right. Let's see if I can get a bluegill with this smaller bait. Okay, something's hitting it. Oh, I think I got it. Yep, got a sunfish, Not sure what this is, looks like a bluegill, The smaller mouth. Well, not really small mouth, but it looks like a bluegill, guys. Got myself a bluegill. So definitely bait fish in this pond. Got a bluegill. Bluegill confirmed in this pond. There's bluegill, there might be bigger predators. All right, that's a little bluegill. See you later, fishy. That's a fish, that's a fish, it's a fish, it's a fish. Looks like another bullhead. This one's slightly bigger. It's a bigger bullhead, but we got a fish, slightly bigger bullhead. Slightly bigger bullhead catfish. Another fish, another bullhead. Looks like that might be all there is in this pond. Bullheads and bluegills. See you, bullhead. All right, we can't end the video on just a couple of crappy bullheads and small bluegills. So we're here at Confluence Pond, which is another pond in Middleton. And we are going to catch ourselves a bigger fish, hopefully. So let's get down to the water and cast a few lines. Hopefully we'll get some bass or just maybe even bigger bluegills. That would actually work okay. Let's see what we get. This is usually one of the best places to fish for me. That is usually not where I want to cast though. Water is a lot clearer than usual here, which is strange. Usually it's sort of murky here. A little more grown than usual. Oh, got one. Don't know what, I think that's a sunfish. Yep, it's a big sunfish. That is a big sunfish. That is a, haven't caught a sunfish this big in a while. I used to catch them all the time, but that's because I fish for large sunfish. As you can see, about the size of my hand, around 8 inches. There you go, 8-inch sunfish. I see you later, sunfishy. If I can catch anything besides a large sunfish, I can catch those anywhere I want, anytime I want. It's the other fishies that I'm actually after. Oh, got one. I think it's another sunfish though by the, yep, it's definitely another sunfish. Another sunfishy. I don't even know if this is the same one or not, but oh, this one's hurt a little bit on the side. I think there's a worm on the side of it. About the same size as the other one. Another large sunfish. There. See you later, sunfishy. So we are here at the place where the creek enters the pond, and I see many fish jump, but I don't know if they'll bite my bait. I don't know if they're feeding or not. Oh, got a tug, so they are feeding. The bites aren't coming. It looks like there's a lot over there. It's a lot of splashes over there, so I'm gonna actually look over there for fish. It's like the splashes over here aren't as numerous as the ones over there. But try casting out once more. Oh, got one. Just as I said, I haven't scored any hits. I got one. I don't know what type this is, but this fish is a pretty hard fighter. Won't be able to get away from me, of course, but looks like no, it's another sunfish. It's a pretty big one though. Got myself another, oh, this one's a big sunfishy. No wonder it was successful in biting. It is a big, big sunfishy. I think this is a little bigger than the one I caught last time. See you later, sunfish. Try that again. I mean, those kids are over there where I was catching the big sunfishies too. But there's plenty of big sunfishies here, but I'm looking for something else besides sunfishies, and I have not been able to get anything besides them, which is very, very frustrating because I know there's plenty of bass in this pond. There's also pike in this pond, but I don't even know where to begin to look for pike in this pond. Oh, got one. Got another one. By the way, it's swimming. It's another one of these sunfish. Yep, another sunfishy. This one's very colorful. Look at that. It's a pumpkin seed. It's a pumpkin seed. Another sunfish pumpkin, another pumpkin seed sunfish. Check that out. Very, very beautiful colors. That beautiful, beautiful colored sunfishy. See ya. Let's try this place again. Want to get like a couple more fish before I call it a day. Oh, got one more fish. Got one more fish. Oh, this one's actually a little bigger. It actually might be a bass. Oh yeah, it is a largemouth. Nice. 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 I was about to give up. This one's not a bad one either. Finally got one. An LMV, a largemouth bass. So they are here. They are here. Maybe I was just reeling too fast. This one's not a bad one. It's about a pound. It's definitely not the biggest one I caught, but a largemouth bass. A largemouth bass. They do exist here. They do exist here. I mean, not exist, but they are here today. Nice, nice. An LMB. Check that out. Largemouth bass. Not too bad of one either. See ya, fish. So we only caught one bass, and today we're gonna try fishing the creek. The creek seems pretty calm today. We got a much smaller bait on. Thing is, we can't really swing it as far, unfortunately, but fish should be able to bite this a little easier and get hooked on. Seems like they're still not getting hooked though. Oh, got one. Change in bait is what we needed, but it is a sunfish again. It's a pretty sunfish, but it's smaller than the ones in the pond, obviously. But it did get hooked on this little crappy bait. Voracious little green sunfish. See ya. We are now at the boat dock towards the mouth of Pheasant Branch Observatory. You can see the water is very, very deep here. It's deeper than my pole, which is a good 6 feet. So we have both our poles here, and we're gonna see what we can get in this water. Hopefully I can get a channel catfish with that, and hopefully with this, I don't know what I'm gonna be able to get with this. All right, for some reason the change of scenery did it, and we have a fish on the line. It is, oh, that's a big, big bass. That is a big, do you see that? That is a big bass. That's a big bass. Oh no, you don't, bass. You coming with me. You coming with me. We need to get the net. For this guy, I don't think I can pull him on the dock. We need to get him, we need to get the net. That is a big bass. That's a big bass. That's a huge bass. Don't think it likes my net, but that is a big bass. Come on, bass. Oh, it doesn't like my net, does it? Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. That is a huge, huge bass. That's a huge bass, baby. I'm very disappointed. I landed that bass on the land. That was by far the biggest bass I've caught this year, but it flopped its way back into the water before I could weigh it. Such a shame. Oh, that's a fish. That's a fish. Thought it was a log first, but that's a fish. That's a pretty decent fish. Not as big as the one I caught, but that's a pretty decent fish. Oh shit, it's trying to get me snagged. No, you don't, bass. No, you don't. I think these are smallies. It's a pretty decent fish. It's a good fish. It's a good fish. Not quite as big as the one I just... Actually, it's not as big, but it's a good fish. It's a good fish. Check that out. Another bass. These bass are pretty big. These bass are honestly really... No, you don't. These bass are pretty big. These bass are... Oh, geez. Slippery, too. These bass are pretty big. Put up a decent fight. But bass. Second bass of the day. Second bass of the day. I think slightly less than 2 pounds. But a very, very good fish. Very, very good fish. Awesome fish. Thanks for playing, fish. See you later. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. We caught 2 nice smallmouth bass here at the kind of like the fishing pier. The first one was bigger, but unfortunately I did not actually get to film it. Well, I didn't actually get to weigh it because it flopped itself back in the water before I was able to. The second one I did weigh 1.6 pound smallmouth. Not bad. There's probably more bass around here, but they don't seem to be biting anymore. So that's it for this episode of Striker's Pond, Tiedman's Pond, Confluence Pond, and Pheasant Branch Creek. Pheasant Branch Creek was the best for me, and then North Confluence Pond, and then Striker's and Tiedman's were not that great. Tiedman's actually just plain sucked. So that's this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day.